to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Yo, it's Ebro and just Rosenberg, no Laura. She was didn't want to talk to Drewski. Let's be honest.
No.
She was like, yo, fuck that shit. I'm going back to sleep.
No, she's sick.
She's on mommy duties.
There you go. She wasn't feeling too well. Drewski was popping. New album. What's the name of it? When's it drop?
Seat at the table, baby.
It is. Rosenberg just told you. Seat at the table, April 9th. The single out right now is 2020 Vision featuring Chef G and Sleepy Hollow.
Y'all joined
and
fire,
I don't know, Shawnee, did you tell the team? Because Shawnee told me something that I didn't even know about the video.
Yeah, I let them know.
But isn't that a private situation, Shawnee?
Yeah, I be keeping it low, but you know it's cool. That's my son in the video, in the premiere video with Chef and them.
Wait.
Well, hopefully he's not in certain scenes.
I felt the same way. I said, what?
Yo, wait, what?
Yo, when I
because
mentioned
this
it to
video
the crew,
is very risque.
Yo,
no, not in his scenes, though.
The funny part is when I mentioned it, first thing Rosenberg said was, what? His video is a porno. How's your son in there? I was like, nah, it's separate.
Yo, just to make it clear, that scene was shot a whole nother day at a whole nother time. It was a real casting, paid casting. So I didn't even know until Shawnee hit me like, yo, my baby mom just sent me a video. My son is in it.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, that's my son.
Yeah, so Drewski just blew the cover. Shawnee definitely told us and we kept it low.
Right.
I told Shawnee, though, I said, yo, certain interviews, I'm going to have to bring it up because that's pretty, interesting.
That's pretty dope, though. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, look at my son and Drewski and the whole, and Chef G. I remember when Chef G and them, Sleepy Hollow was coming up, so it was like full circle kind of vibe. Like, so I was glad that it all came together like that.
So
it was a surprise.
Drewski, why'd you go, besides the fact they've both been hot and killing it, why'd you go with those two specifically for the first single?
One, because I'm a fan of them, of their music. Two, that was actually, I think, like the second record we cooked up when I came up with this whole concept to put out music. So they were there early on. Like, they supported. When I needed them in the studio, they were in the studio. So I said, you know what? They were one of the early artists to rock with me. So I felt like it was a strong record. Those kids are hot right now. It represents New York. I said, let's go with it. And even down to the video, they were on time. They were into it. Whatever you need, Drewski, we got you. So because of that whole support, I felt like it was only right to go with that one.
So Drewski, you've been really putting in a lot of work over the years. Showcases in New Jersey to find new artists. The show that you have every week on Hot 97 just for new artists. Talk about that work and how it contributed to you making this project and this project's contribution to providing a platform for new artists.
I always just felt like even before I got on radio or was that hot, I seen what like all the guys were doing, and when I got on, I was like, yo, I want to continue being able to break artists, especially from the town. Like I would hear Flex play an artist, then go to his car show and then see Joel's, Jim, and them there. So it was like, how do I continue that? How do I, do that? And it was always important to me, but I was like, yo, I want to do it with the new generation, new kids when I got on. And, I'm outside. I'm really like in the streets, in the trenches, and anywhere, and I seen you guys had like Little TJ on the show the other day or yesterday. And even with like Little TJ, I was in a random hood spot in the Bronx, and he's like 15, 16, and they're bringing him in the club. So I was always around like these kids at such a super young age and at the early start of their career, that both I wanted to support what they were doing because I believed in it. I seen what they had going on. And two, I'm building relationships. I'm like, yo, to level up as a DJ and as a brand, it's just part of what we got to do now. And I think a lot of DJs after this pandemic realized, yo, I can't just be a DJ in the club and think I'm going to be good. I got to do more. So I figured, you know what? I got these relationships. I'm in tune with the music. I'm on these artists early. So, let's go. Let's rock.
Lil TJ told me that story on my Apple show. He said, you know who was driving a car that day that picked him up to take him to your club?
I have no idea.
Pop Smoke.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Pop Smoke was driving the car, and Jay Guapo was the one that took TJ, and Pop Smoke was driving, and that's how he met Pop Smoke. Was going to see you that day at the club.
Wow.
Yeah. I never knew that story. When I seen them, it was like 20 little dirty kids, and I didn't know who was who. I didn't even know who little TJ was. And I'm like, how did you in the club? All you and your friends, and they look 15. And they're like, nah, we just came for you, Drewski. And they were like performing and doing all this in the middle of the club. I was like, yo, I love the energy. Like, I love the energy. And actually, I mentioned Chef and Sleepy was the second record that, we did. But the first record, and Cash One was like helping me early on, like giving me, tips and stuff. But it was Little TJ and Pop Smoke. The record was Mary Jane. Before it even, came out, even Dom was like, yo, you got to mix it at a certain frequency. And that was like the first record to really kick it off. And they didn't have no records out at that time. That same session was the same session they did Mood Swings. Yeah, so it was like, I was like, yo, no, I want the party record. I'm going to take the Mary Jane records, more party record, DJ vibes. And they never had no records out. And we kind of were touching it, and it got leaked on like YouTube. But then the whole pop passing happened, and I felt like I didn't want to look like I'm capitalizing off of anything. So I said, yo, the record's I'm never putting it out. One, because the Pop Smoke. Two, Columbia still didn't clear it. And they used the verse on the Mary Jane record on the Woo with Rowdy and 50.
Wow. So tell us about your relationship with Pop Smoke, because as you said, Drewski, you've been, you and I both have shows on Sunday, but we occupy very different lanes, and you're really in touch with the music in the streets. And tell us about when you first started hearing about Pop and first connected with him.
So I think like the first time hearing about him, because I was already around Guapo and TJ, they were just playing it. And I'm like, yo, who is this? Like, his voice was distinct. And they asked my man Pop Smoke from Brooklyn, Drewski, you got to get in tune. So I'm like, all right, well, get me in tune. And then, we were just talking over social media, and he was coming across like arrogant, but I like it. I'm like, all right, cool. I get what he's doing. Like, Drewski, I'm the hottest in Brooklyn. But I hear it all the time. So I'm like, yo, send me your records. Let me hear something. And then he was like, well, I'm going to send you Welcome to the Party. I was like, I'm going to get it on Sunday night. I played it. I think he missed it when I played it. And he's like, yo, you got to run it back. You got to run it back. I'm like, that's not how it works. You're going to get one look. And then, I just, and he's like, yo, I'm pulling up on you. So then he came to like a studio session, and we were just talking, and it just kept building from there. And it just happened so quickly. And to see how fast, like, he grew, it was like, oh, this is crazy. And then it makes you realize, that's why I'm like, yo, I'm rocking with these kids, and things change overnight. So even if it's working with them and getting records and producing records with them, I'm not going to wait no more. I'm going to just get it done. And I think that's, Pop's passing and doing the record with him and TJ really motivated me to like, let me finish this. Let me get these records done. Let me reach out to people I really believe in and I work with. And I definitely credit him for like putting that battery in my bag too.
A lot of people see you at this point in your life. We've seen you on the reality TV shows. You've been working at Hot 97 for what, 15 years?
No.
In and around?
Technically 08. I think that's when you hired
13. You're close.
Paperwork.
08, yeah. But even before 08, when we gave you the look and started giving you looks and you started learning the ins and outs of radio, how long was you running around carrying crates and carrying bags and setting up for Cipha clubs and all that?
It might have been like 2 years before that. And then I was like board opping at Sirius, doing like their shows. So it was like 2 years. And then I started working, remember, in digital, doing all the video and editing.
Right.
In digital. And then Ebro hits me one day like, yo, Monte's leaving. Angie needs a producer. So you got to figure it out. You can't do both. I'm like, nah, I think I could do both. He's like, nah, you can't do both. Pick one. So I was like, nah, I'm going with Angie. Like, that's one step closer to the box, one step closer to the mic. At the same time, I was still DJing outside when I wasn't with Cipha. But
by the way, let's be real about how much time.
And for the audience, I'm so old, I don't even remember that.
Now I could tell.
I remember all that.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
What did I do?
Drewski remembers that. That was his life. Now, but let's talk about that work with Cipha. Let's not pass over that because that was a lot of time. You said the time when I wasn't with Cipha. How much time were you with Cipha, though?
No, it was like 6 days a week from like 6 a.m. to 4 in the morning. So there was days we wouldn't, like I would just sleep wherever, in the car, at his crib for 3 hours, and then we're back up to do the morning show and all that. Like,
because you were there in the morning. You come in. Yeah.
Yeah,
like, I just want people to understand that work ethic because, it'll be easy for people to come at you who don't know, think you, the reality show, whatever. Look at this white
Or you
guy.
just got it because you white.
Right. And
Right.
I think it's important for people to know that you're a kid from Elizabeth who your level of grind. I watched you. Not only was it the hours you spent with Cipha. Cipha wasn't always in the best mood doing the morning show, waking up at those hours. You really, really grinded it out, bro. And then you had Angie, and when you were with Angie, you were still running around with Cipha, right?
Yeah. So, but Cipha respected like my time with Angie. He never like, came at me like, yo, you got to focus on me. He was like, do that because that's important. And then when you're free, then, holler at me. But then I started plugging him with different people to kind of replace me. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a grind. Like you guys seen it all. So it's not nothing new.
Well, it's important for people to understand where it started from too, because the other part of it was, the opportunities came because people saw that you weren't what we used to call around the station. Remember that you weren't speeding.
Right.
And I don't use that word too much anymore because I'm not as close to like a lot of the young people coming up anymore. So, but cats come in and they think they supposed to be on the air in 6 months. You speeding. Or they think, nah, I'm ready to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, yo, you speeding. You can't even edit a phone call. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know if the mic comes open right now, you don't even know what to say or how to do this or how to do that. You speeding, and I'm sure you see that a lot with people that you're bringing up under you today.
Oh, no, yeah. Even with today's DJs, like these young kids, it's worse. And shout out to Juanito. I see Juanito in the chat, but he had footage of like the first time I was at the station with Flex in the room, and Juanito like sneak footage, and Flex is just drilling me. Like, oh, he says something like, "You running with Cipha?" I'm like, yeah, I run with Cipha. He's like, "No, you don't. You don't run nothing. You walk behind Cipha." Like, I'm like, "Oh." And then he's just drilling me. You think you're gonna be up here for 2 years and get on this radio? You know what I had to do for Chuck? And Juanito still has that footage. I need to use that. I gotta find that. But
you need that
all the time.
But now what's gonna happen is Flex is gonna get canceled for a toxic work environment for being too hard on you when you were a young person coming up. Poor Drewski had to deal with toxic funk Flex.
Me, man.
Drewski's gonna do some interview and accuse Flex of PTSD.
No, I think with like even everything I experienced, it just made me I don't want to say stronger, but built for this because even doing a reality TV, that comes with the crazy backlash, especially being white on Love and Hip Hop. Like, it's crazy. But
and by the way, it's funny because no one's going to feel sorry for you, right? You're the white guy who goes on Love and Hip Hop, and it's a great opportunity, and you got a beautiful girlfriend who's on there with you. But what was some of the negative? What was some of the downside that came from you and Sky being on Love and Hip Hop?
So, like, I never spoke about it, but we were living in like an apartment, like a condo. We had to move out because we were getting like so much hate mail, I guess it was. There was a point where someone posted the building, the gym, on Craigslist and put a fake ad like, "Come work out with Sky at this gym." And we're like, yo, who? Like, clearly they know where we live because they got photos of the gym off the website on Craigslist. And it just like sending, like I was doing gigs at SOBs and they would send SOBs emails like, "Drewski's part of the clan and don't book him at SOBs." And all these clubs were like sending me emails like, "Hey, I don't know if you see this. I don't know, what's going on, but people are telling us not to book you because you're part of the clan and you're dating a black woman." And I was like, yo, this is out of control. But I just was able to like laugh it off. And I'm like, yo, if you like, come on, why are you even entertaining these emails? But there was like people out there like reaching out to promoters and clubs and just sending stuff.
What bothered people? Was it as simple as the interracial relationship? Like, what was it that bothered people about you guys?
White.
I don't know. I don't know. That too. I really don't know because I never like experienced it at that height, like where she was scared. We had to do police reports and everything. Like shit got real.
And your storyline, if I listen, I didn't see all of it, but from what I recall, I feel like your storylines weren't that controversial. Like you guys were kind of just a couple, a loving couple on the show, no?
Yeah, it was a smooth storyline. I don't think I wasn't like coming across arrogant or even on no clown funny stuff, but there's always people that just want to start something, and it was coming like bad. Like she was scared to the point we had to move, do police report. Like I'm like, bro, like I knew this was gonna happen. I'm already around it. I'm already getting from people I know they come from me. So it was like, for her, it was just different because it was new. And she's like, what's going on? I'm like, listen, whatever makes you feel comfortable, that's what we'll do. And we had to break like a lease, like $8,000 to break the lease and all that. But it was like a lot, going on at that time.
Drewski, let's get into this record 2020 Vision. Who else is on the album?
So the first record is A Boogie Trap Manny. That's how we starting the album off. Then, Chef and Sleepy. I got the record with Dream Doll and Ruby Rose and Molly Brazy. That was the girl record.
Yeah,
it did very well. I got a record with Coi Leray and Sada Baby that is like one of those fun. And she's hot right now. She's from Jersey.
Crazy,
so yeah, I definitely needed her on there. I got a record produced by Hitmaker, but it's Maceo Guns and Busy Banks, two young boys out of Brooklyn. But
Busy
Young
Banks
Berg.
is fire, bro.
Yeah, and it's like it's fire. It's a fire record and produced by Hitmaker, so it's even better. Who else? Cowboy Jay Critch is on there. I did a record with Designer and Malibu Mitch. I just felt like that chemistry was great. The tones in their voices and everything like that. So that's done. Smooth L is on it. Fabio, Sosa Geek, Fetty Luciano. That's like a
big record.
Straight drill. Yeah, straight drill record. Actually, I sent Rosenberg a record. He played it on his Sunday show, Neek Bucks and the chick Journey.
That's a good tune, man.
Neek Bucks is fire,
he hit
man.
me like, yo, send me something for my show. I'm like, a lot of these are like party records, commercial records. I know, I'm like, yo, ain't too much boom bap, but I got this record with Neek Bucks where he's rapping on it. It's still got an R&B feel.
But it's a good R&B hip hop-ish record though. It's a solid record, man. Shouts to Neek Bucks.
Yo, man, you guys really run the gamut of white guys in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You got Drewski, who's in the club, you know what I mean, trying to make radio hits, and then you got Rosenberg, who's only making records for, the underground barsiest bars. You know what I'm saying? You guys got both lanes. You know what I'm saying? Really in your purview, man. Covering bases
summer,
here.
Bro.
No. Don't fall for the white boy summer.
Yo, you heard it. We putting that clip out. Drewski's aligning with Chet
It's
Hanks.
a
Here we
white
go.
boy summer.
Yo, do you see how terrible White Boy Summer started for Chet Hanks?
Oh my God, it got ugly.
What kind of rollout is this?
Yeah,
White Boy. Yo, it is the worst time to roll out White Boy Summer.
But then you start out with your bloody face because you got beat up.
It's enough. Both of y'all are putting out hip hop albums. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To roll out White Boy Summer in this climate,
it's too much.
You guys might want to sit down for a generation and just be happy to be here. Come to the cookout.
Can I still roll out the album, just not call it White Boy Summer? I mean,
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's enough that the albums are coming out.
Right. We don't need to do Drewski. I think we should stay away from White Boy Summer.
Stay away from it, Drewski.
And by the way,
Drewski, listen. They already let you. Didn't you get like cornrows or something? Nobody came for you. You was.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? You already be moving around out here, Drewski, with your corn. You had cornrows at one point.
Oh yeah. I took them out, but yeah, I definitely have my cornrows.
Yeah, nah. See, you got your black girlfriend had you in cornrows. She didn't protect you.
Actually, she don't even know how to do it. So that we have a whole argument about that. I'm like, yo, you supposed to know how to do cornrows. You got me out here paying, and people think, oh, it's DJ Drewski. So now I gotta pay like a little extra 20 on top of what the regular cost is. And you got me in these shops and people's cribs getting my hair braided. So someone got to teach Sky how to do
How did people react to the hair braid? Did you get any backlash from that?
No, it's weird. I don't know. I guess either people don't speak up, or when I do, when they do, I kind of
you're not in those circles. It's social media. If somebody would have put your photo out and was like Drewski rocking cornrows, that would have been the signal for them to come for you. But nobody did that because you got love and you taking care of artists and you giving people opportunities and you're a positive dude. You know
and you're actually out in the real streets as opposed to just being on Twitter.
Exactly. I even will joke about it, but I had cornrows in 8th grade. So to me, it's not it's not even new. It's like, yo, I had this. I could pull up pictures when I was 12 years old with cornrows on. So
doesn't mean it was right. Taking black culture.
I contribute too. I just don't take.
But that's why people don't come for you.
You can't.
That's why people don't come for you.
Yeah,
but that don't mean it's okay.
Don't let him coach you. That's the key.
Nah,
He throws out the test. Ebro likes to plant landmines for his white friends to see if they step on it.
Exactly. Yo, Drewski, seat at the table. Which table is this, sir?
It's whatever table, any table, no reservations. We just pulling up.
There it is. Seat at the
I'm
table.
excited to hear it, man.
Yeah,
Friday. Seat at the table.
Friday, April 9th.
And right now, here's the first.
It's good.
Well, the record with that you had out with all the girls on it with Ruby Rose, that's been out too.
Yeah, that's been out.
The water record, that was out too.
So let's play both of those. Let's play the Sleepy Hollow. And who's on this Ruby Rose record?
It's Dream Doll, Ruby Rose, and Molly Brazy.
Let's do it, man. Drewski, good to see you, man. Good morning, man. And much love on all your success.
Congrats,
bro. Of course, I appreciate you.
Congrats, bro.